Over the past weekend, several stranded cruise ships made a mad dash to safety passing through the Strait of Hormuz. I made a video about this during the weekend that talks about how they were progressing on their way towards the strait. Today, on the 20th of April, we have an update on the progress of these fleeing cruise ships. Hi, I'm Chris Frame, the Maritime historian, and I'm here with an update on how cruising has been impacted by the war in Iran. The MSC Euribia was stranded in Dubai since the conflict erupted in February. She's currently off the coast of Oman and is making maneuvers whilst quite close to the coast. This means that she's out of the worst of the danger. The ship is currently on a heading of 229 degrees and is making 4 knots, so is positioning herself for the onward journey, with a reported destination of Muscat in Oman. Now let's look at the Celestyal journey, which had also been stuck during this conflict, this time in the port of Qatar. This ship makes up 50% of Celestyal Cruises' fleet, and both of the Celestyal Cruises ships had been stuck due to the conflict. Celestyal Journey is currently also off the coast of Oman. She's making her way towards Cape Town for her repositioning back to the European market. The ship is currently underway, heading almost directly south on her journey towards Cape Town. Her fleetmate, the Celestyal Discovery, is also making her way off the coast of Oman, although is a little bit further out than Celestyal Journey. This ship is making its way towards the Suez Canal, employing quite a different strategy to get back to Europe than her fleetmate. Schiff 4 has also made an escape, having been docked at Abu Dhabi. She's actually an interesting one because it's very difficult to track this ship, with her last known position being just east of the Strait of Hormuz, although it is reported that she has made it safely out of the region. Her destination, according to AIS tracking, is Muscat in Oman. However, there are no updates on the AIS trackers as to the position or progress of the ship. Her fleetmate Schiff 5 was also held up in Qatar, and this ship is making its way towards Cape Town, currently off the coast of Oman, and is undertaking her voyage south at a speed of 19.7 knots on a southeast trajectory on a heading of 134 degrees. The ship is expected to make her arrival in Cape Town in about 9 days' time. And as a further update, there is one other ship that had been held up in the region, and that is the Aroya, and she is actually also underway. She departed Dammam on the 18th of April and is making her way towards the city of Fujairah in the United Arab Emirates, which is on the east coast of the UAE and is just south of the Strait of Hormuz. So presumably, given that this ship is based year-round in the region, the owners are trying to get her out of the most dangerous areas, but keep her close by, though we are not too sure what her final destination will be. She's currently making 14.8 knots on a southeast course and is expected to arrive in her destination later today.
Enjoying the cruise globe mapping in this video? You can get your own custom cruise map at thecruisemaps.com.
All of these cruise ships had been left in the Middle East with no passengers on board, with the cruise lines having repatriated passengers by air. However, all of the ships did have various numbers of crew left on board. Some of the ships were operating with skeleton crew only, while with others it's a bit more difficult to ascertain just how many people are on board. In addition, in a report in the Maritime Executive, one of the cruise ships reported seeing a splash in the water as it was making its way past the strait. According to the report, the master of one of the ships reported to the monitoring operation UK TMO that there was a splash close to the ship, as they were approximately 3 nautical miles east of Oman. The source of the splash is unclear, but it does make for some interesting reading, and I've linked to the article in the description below. We will of course keep you fully updated as much as we can on the progress of these ships, and of course there are a number of effects that this particular conflict will cause to cruising going forward. Not only have several ships had to cancel future voyages to the region, but the impact on fuel sources and fuel prices are sure to have an impact on cruising long term, particularly if the conflict drags on. In fact, Anthony Davis and myself discussed this very topic in the latest episode of the Expert Cruise Show, which you can find on all the podcast platforms and also on YouTube. I've linked it in the description below. We wish all of the crew on board the ships a safe journey home and also hope for a quick resolution to this conflict. As always, a huge thank you to our channel members. Your support is what helps make these videos possible. You can join the crew and have your name appear on the screen like these fantastic people by signing up with the link in the description below. It'd be great to have you on board. Don't forget also to check out my Substack at the Maritime Historian, where I go into all sorts of detailed stories about cruising and ocean liner history. Thanks once again for watching, and until next time, I hope to see you on board. This video was brought to you by me and my new book, The Evolution of the Passenger Ship. In The Evolution of the Passenger Ship, we bring years of research together to create a book that takes you on a journey from the dawn of passenger shipping right the way through to the modern cruise behemoths that we see today. And if you purchase a copy, you support us, which helps us keep the channel going.